Through the years, movies and animations have given us amazing stories and beautiful visuals for us to love. So what if both worlds collide? What if live action and animations are blended together to tell a unique story for the audience to enjoy? And that's why I'm here with this video, to give you guys some top 10 movies that combined animation and live action. Starting off at number 10, we have Looney Tunes back in action. After the very successful Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the cult classic Space Jam, the original of course, different film studios saw an opportunity to also bank on these film concepts, and so Looney Tunes back in action was born. The film stars Brendan Fraser's DJ Drake, a security guard who teams up with Daffy Duck to rescue Daffy's father. They also unite with Bugs Bunny and a woman called Kate, played by Jenna Elfman, to protect an artifact called the Blue Mountain from a corporation chairman played by Steve Martin. Now, while the plot is half-baked and sometimes uninteresting, Steve Martin really portrays his villainous character very well, and Brendan Fraser also does his best in this unique animation style blending with live action. At number 9, we have Space Jam 1996 and New Legacy, which came out in 2021. So I decided to put the old cult classic Jam and the new version in one spot. Yeah, I know people prefer the original to the remake, but the original too wasn't that great, but it does possess its own flair and goodness. It's literally humans interacting with cartoons, specifically the Looney Tunes. I mean, we all know Michael Jordan isn't much of an actor, and he just did the best he could, and thankfully Bill Murray and Wayne Knight were there to keep the film from joining the pile of disasters when it came to these type of movies. Now with New Legacy, yeah, it can boast of impressive visuals and enormous amount of cameos that will keep you pausing to spot them, but this version is just literally Space Jam but with LeBron James, whose acting ability was decent, and I think his saving grace was literally them having the Oscar nominee Don Cheadle and impressive animations and visuals and cameos to keep audiences hooked. Now at number 8, we have The Mask from 1994. The Mask involves a bank clerk named Stanley Ipkiss, played by the phenomenal legend Jim Carrey, who discovers the titular mask of Loki, the Norse god, which transforms his appearance and grants him wild supernatural powers. He gets entangled with a beautiful and amazing Cameron Diaz and an angry crime lord after he robs the bank they were after. While the film was mostly live action, it made use of animation on the effects of the mask and how Stanley uses it. The animations pay homage to classic Looney Tunes, and Jim Carrey's maniac and high-energy acting matches the mask's over-the-top style, making the movie so much fun to watch and providing an all-time classic.
Now you have to ask yourself one question. Do ya? Punks?
At number 7, we have Cool World. If you've watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it's very clear that this movie took that as their blueprint, especially when you look at the character Hollywood. But that doesn't mean the movie matches the greatness that was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now the movie follows Frank Harris, played by Brad Pitt, who is sent into a cartoon-like world after he gets into an accident, and the movie also introduces Hollywood, basically a version of Jessica Rabbit, who wants to turn human, and the only way to do that is to sleep with one. To say that this movie wears sexual themes all around the movie makes it sound even a little more than what it actually is when you watch the movie. This movie is also one of Brad Pitt's first movie appearances. At the C spot, we have Sonic the Hedgehog. The thing that this movie almost destroyed itself even before its release with this ugly Sonic design, such that it was even made fun of in the Chip and Dale movie.
That's Sonic's thing. Ugly Sonic goes slow.
This movie blends its CGI animated characters very well with live action. The visuals are beautiful, and it also captures the spirit of Sonic from the games. No wonder it's become one of the most successful video game adaptations on screen. The sequel also delivered on all fronts, introducing two fantastic fan-favorite characters, Knuckles and Tails. And the third movie, which is I think coming out next year, is also bringing another Sonic character, which was teased in the post-credit scene of the second movie. Now at number 5, we have Enchanted. This Disney gem blended live action with animation, giving us a modernized princess love story we all loved, and while also paying homage to the animated classics we also treasure. The film follows Princess Giselle, played by the wonderful Amy Adams, who is banished from her animated fantasy world and ends up in the real world, specifically the streets of modern-day New York, where through the course of the movie, she meets and falls in love with a divorced attorney. Amy Adams is truly enchanting in her role, and the movie provides beauty and captivating love story in every way. So it doesn't surprise me much that we are getting a sequel after all these years, which will be streaming in November on Disney Plus with all the cast returning, and I have a feeling it won't disappoint. Fourthly, we have Osmosis Jones. Osmosis Jones not only blended live action and animation, but did it uniquely. The movie follows a zookeeper, Frank, played by Bill Murray, who unknowingly ingests a deadly virus, and a white blood cell called Osmosis Jones, voiced by Chris Rock, must stop the symptoms to keep Frank alive and his body, the internal animated city of Frank as they called it, flourishing. This special concept not only creates humor-filled story with a tad bit of heart in it, but it also created an entertaining visual experience on how the body works, and the amazing voice cast and animation also keeps you glued to the end. At number 3, we have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. This movie, I must admit straight away, that is one of my favorites when it comes to this unique genre. A vibrant visual spectacle giving us a look at what if animations, but in this specific case, video game concepts and tropes were integrated into live action. The movie follows our titular protagonist, who is a bass guitarist and must battle Ramona Flowers' 7 evil exes before being able to date her seriously. The movie is a love letter to video game and animation lovers, as each scene captivates its thrill and elevates it to an insane level. The movie also features amazing stellar performances from Chris Evans, Brandon Routh, and Brie Larson, and a lot more. Yes, I know you may know them now as Captain America, Superman, and Captain Marvel respectively. Though the movie was a box office flop, it still accumulated critical acclaim and won audiences to become a modern day cult classic. Now at number 2, we have Mary Poppins. The fact that this movie came out in 1964 perhaps deserved to be in the number 1 spot, but it being here still doesn't reduce its quality and praise. The movie to some is viewed as Disney's crowning achievement, and how it implemented these unique ideas and storytelling with a little technology at that time, blending live action and animation, with them flawlessly comprehending how to use animations to impact the audience and story, with its vibrant world and visuals and amazing stars Julia Andrews and Dick Van Dyke giving amazing performances. It's no surprise that this movie earned 13 Oscar nominations and won 5 out of it. And now at numero uno, we have Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, I know some of you guessed it. Not only is this movie considered the greatest live action mixed with animation to come to screen, but it's also so iconic that it's referenced and emulated so many times in different projects to this day. The movie stars Roger Rabbit, who is framed for murder, and a tune-hating private investigator, 𝗣𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗋, who stands as his only chance of clearing his name. This film noir-inspired comedy mystery is a love letter to the comedic genius of old cartoons back in the day. Me saying that almost makes it seem like I'm so old. But anyway, the movie earned box office success and was also critically acclaimed, winning itself 3 Oscars. Now that's it for the list. All these movies mentioned took a risk in adapting both worlds on screen, and for better or worse, are the pillars that still hold this unique genre alive. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this list. What was your favorite movie out of all of them, or maybe your top 3? And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps the channel out. Subscribe and turn on that post notification bell not to miss any other video. Now that's it for the video. As always, Neytiri here. See you guys in the next one.